need alchemy components?
No.
Or training?
You have something for me?
Have you ever heard of Vermina's torpor?
Yes. Wait. I didn't do the Dawn Star quest yet, I think.
It allows you to enter a state known as the Dream Stride, where you
know.
can view a memory of another.
Whose memory will I view? Hi.
Arquin, you're here at last. Belisarius and I have been so confused. Where are we?
What is your last memory?
Well, we both remember killing the traitor Chance, then entering the Night Mother's crypt, and then blackness.
Dear brother, he was not a traitor. It was Matthew Bellamont who betrayed us. We were manipulated into killing our own, just as Lucian's silencer was.
What? Arquin, what are you saying?
We were blind, desperate to end the strife, happy to find someone to blame. We couldn't see. We killed an innocent man, loyal until his last breath.
If the traitor was Bellamont, then both the Chance and the family at Cheydinhall were innocent, which means that we have broken... Oh dear.
Are we in the void? Is that Sithis?
Nephew.
No, that is the Lich. Is that the Night Mummy? Mommy! Hi!
Stand, my children.
Mom!
Allow me to introduce...
Hi, Mom.
Well, he doesn't really have a name anymore. For 2,000 years, he has been a powerful necromancer. One with a
That's not
specialty
bad.
that
I mean,
will become
Sithis.
very
My
relevant
dad's
to
Archibald.
us in a moment. While his flesh has long since decayed, his mind and his soul are powerful beyond measure. Over the years, the Brotherhood has procured him countless scores of victims. He owes us many favors.
Mother, may I ask what you are doing with our family members?
Your family members are right here, child. The Brotherhood is your true family. But it is a fair question. The three of you attacked and killed Lucian LeChance, and you murdered my children at Cheydinhall. These things make a mother grieve.
Are we in the void then?
You must face punishment.
Why am I though
The
in the
wrath of
void?
Sithis.
Of course.
These guys are dead. But I'm
The
not.
chance was
Well,
as
Arkwin
guilty as
isn't.
we are for Cheydinhall.
In the 8 years since you murdered him like a pig, he has paid his debt 1,000 times over. This is not about the chance. Now, to answer your question, your family members are here because they will become vessels for your souls. How did our friend explain it? Only blood can renew blood.
What is expected of us, Mother?
The Brotherhood is falling apart. Across Tamriel, sanctuaries have less active members with each passing year. I have always feared that my family would end this way, quietly, with not a soul in Tamriel remembering who we were. But there is hope. Within LeChance, there was a passion for the Brotherhood of the likes that I have not seen in hundreds of years. If we can ignite that passion in someone else, we can save the Brotherhood.
How can we ignite that passion without the chance, dear mother?
20 years before his death, LeChance had a child, a boy. On one of his contracts, before his promotion to Speaker, LeChance was sloppy. Neither I nor our dread father knew of this at the time. But Sithis has told me of the child. We must find this child and inform him of his destiny. It will be through the blood of LeChance that we will save our family. Speaker Arquin, Speaker Arius, and Speaker Alor, you have violated one of the 5 sacred tenets of the Dark Brotherhood. You are hereby stripped of rank, and you will find the child of Lucian LeChance in Tamriel. Only once you have the child will you know the peace of the void. Go with our dread father, children.
Yes,
Yes, Mother.
Where are we going to search? The Chance has journeyed all over Tamriel.
This is an impossible task. How will the three of us search an entire continent?
We'll each take 3 provinces. I'll take Morrowind, Cyrodiil, and Blackmarsh. Arquin, High Rock, Hammerfell, and Skyrim. Belisarius, the remaining 3.
Okay. Tenth of Sun's Dawn. After having spent 15 years in both High Rock and Hammerfell, I can only attest that Lucian never spent any significant time in either province. However, as the years have gone on, I can remember LaChance reminiscing over Skyrim, as if that snowy waste had been special to him. If you're reading this, then it means that I've made progress in locating LaChance's lost child, who would now be in his late 50s. However, I can no longer trust anyone, nor can I trust to leave this note here without some safeguard. At the time of this writing, there are 4 sanctuaries in Skyrim: Markarth, Dawnstar, Winterhold, and Falkreath. Markarth and Winterhold have been completely abandoned, and Dawnstar is showing signs of loss. With each passing day, I begin to fear that the Night Mother was right, and that our family is becoming nothing more than a tainted memory. Look for clues of my whereabouts in the abandoned sanctuaries. I will do that. Okay, do I go out here? Oh, that's me. Okay. So... okay. Wait, how long is this? Is the child still... The child was in its late 50s, like when they were here, and that was... like over 100 years ago then. Right? Is the child not dead by now, or is the child an elf? Why do we need to look for the child? The Brotherhood is kind of fine-ish again. Mom. Explain stuff to me. Also, Arguin, so the 2 guys were killed by the Bellamon guy, but Arguin was not killed. She was the only one that survived. Who are those guys? Oh, we are in a sanctuary. Let me get my kitty out. Okay, chill. I don't have my proper armor. I'm slightly fragile. Or not. Oh, hi. First clue. High above the rocks and beneath the dogs, under an arch, I wait. In solitude? Question mark? At a Markov. Okay. I don't know. How do I get out of here?
I've been looking for you. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Proposition. Dearest listener, Audi Astrid has met with a terrible fate, hasn't she? When I first heard of the unfortunate news, I was rather upset. Astrid and I had a very lucrative business relationship. You see, we call the system dead ropes. To put it simply, you go to my specified location, you kill the target, you travel to the next location, which is specified in the instructions. You collect your payment. You start your next contract. Repeat until my work is completed. Clean and simple. Why conduct business this way? I suppose you are owed at least that much information. You see, I'm a very high-ranking official, and I prefer to do my less than savory business through back channels such as this. I cannot afford to be found out by attempting the Black Sacrament. I trust that you are satisfied with this arrangement, and that you will not disappoint me. Truly yours, the Herald. Who said I'm satisfied with this dude? No! No! Everyone has to do the Black Sacrament,
Speak
right?
to me.
Right?
I think I can hear whirring and clicking deep underground.
Interesting.
What's next?
I mean, like, dude, I'm the listener. The Night Mummy talks to me when you do the Black Sack moment. Why the heck I should do that drop stuff? Tell it to my speakers or silencers or the speaker to the silencer or whatever the heck. I'm just the big boss. I do listening, not different stuff. Did anyone tell me what the door was asking and what the answer was? I'm assuming the door is gonna ask me something.
What is the greatest sadness?
Ear cancer. What could it be?
Welcome home.
Wonder what the door in Winterhold asked. Well, this looks nice.
I thought we were on the same side.
Yeah, I thought I needed to get rid of that. I thought why? I'm one of you guys, okay? There's really no need. A long dead brother. Another brother. And the 5 tenants. This looks new. What are the 5 tenants? Inigo, I hope you learned those. I definitely did. Never take stuff from a brother, never hurt a brother, never dishonor the Night Mother. Never brother something with a brother, and never brother. To do so is to evoke the wrath of Sithis. Let's check if I was correct. Yeah. Never dishonor the Night Mother. To do so is never betray a dark brotherhood, never disobey or refuse, never steal, never kill. Okay, yeah, I was right, definitely. I'm the listener. I know what I'm I know what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. This is nice here. I'm sure if you could clean this up and stuff, this would look better than Dawnstar one. This is like proper halls and stuff. Definitely better than the Fog Refund. The Fog Refund is kind of shit. That took me way too long to find. Near the gate to the Sea of Ghosts is a shack forgotten by all. I'll wait. Okay. Outside of solitude. Yeah, I said that already with the dogs and things. And where is the key for the thing? I don't know. No one knows. Am I gonna look? No, F that. Let's just get out of here. Desolate chick. Hi. What do I do here? Ah, hi. You're dead. Wee. Now that is shit I want to wear.
22nd of last scene, 48. I hold in my mind the proof of my strange destiny. The Night Mother herself has appeared before me, manifested her villain spirit before me not once but twice, in less than a decade. The first was at her very own crypt, a place which I shall not name in these pages. The second was in a secret place I was drawn to, wherein I was tasked, along with 2 others, let us call them former speakers, to find the blood heir of our most grievous collective sin, Lucien LeChance. I was stripped of my position as speaker, a fact I find almost more relief than punishment. After LeChance's death, being allowed to retain my robe and office as speaker seemed somehow more of a reward than a fitting end, given my hand in his death, my bloody hand. As to the listener, he has other speakers now. She, alright. The listener was a dark elf. And a she. And I have little fear about his ability to continue without my direct involvement. The Night Mother has seen fit to give me the means to at least make reparations to her and our dread father, and to my brother Lucien. I must not fail him. Then, again, 9th of Evening Star. Dragonstar has proven a fruitless journey for me. I have wandered far afield, secreting myself with wanderers, slavers, bandits, nobles, craftsmen, and soldiers, all to no avail. I have become convinced that his heir is not here. The campaign to take Osinium has further complicated my search, but I believe I have done all I can here. One last push, the soldiers say, and so I leave in the morning for the front. From there I will secret myself as a healer and escort the wounded back to High Rock, thus affording me additional protection and a chance to learn more about a province I have studied but have never been to. Once I arrive, it should make me search that much easier. A third of half-far. I thought I understood the deception. I thought I had mastered Gil and art and secrecy and whispered. I was woefully mistaken. For nearly 20 years I've roamed High Rock, amongst all walks of life and all social circles. Always careful, always careful. I've burned all journals but this one. I've begun to write in code. I've seen noble men and women fall from dazzling heights, reaching generations ago by some cunning, long-venerated ancestor, only to become the wealthiest beggar the world will ever know, unable to ever buy food or wine at the local tavern for fear of refusal to their success for blood and rumor pitted against him. I've learned vital skills here. I can only claim that education is the reason for the length of my stay. I think perhaps that these lessons taught me not merely how to craft a proper dagger in the Black Conspiracy, but how to sniff one out for it takes root. This is Lucian's legacy, flowering within me, I think. The need to be able to see the truth behind the actions, or the words present to me. Perhaps if I had that skill, Sith's blood, can it really be over 30 years ago? I might have seen the truth in time to save him, rather than taking the time to slay him. The writer's abandonment with which we excused him. His is the one death that sickens me. I woke yesterday with his screams in my head. I must leave here to continue my search. To that end, I shall make my way to the Divide and join a merchant caravan to Markarth. From there, it's the wrong time of year to go to Skyrim, weather-wise, but I've waited long enough. His heir is not in High Rock, and of that I'm certain. Time to look towards Skyrim for salvation. Second seed. In the 10 years that I've called to reach my home, I must have crested every rise, visited every ruin, spoken to every farmer, miner, soldier, and skooma dealer to no avail. Skyrim, you're a vast and varied province indeed. I've now narrowed down the list of likely locations for the child, save that he's not, nor has he been here. He no doubt has children of his own by now, assuming he lives. The larger issue is that my brother visited virtually all corners of Skyrim in his time here. I can see why. There are places in the reach alone that can take your very breath when come upon unaware. Though both harsh and beautiful, I must not allow myself to be waylaid. Each new vista, forest, or Nunwood song must be staved off, lest it distract me from my true mission. I must find a way to balance thorough investigation with speed and haste. Each day that passes, the trail grows colder. I must find him, or his heirs. I can only hope that I will know them when I see them. 21st of Frostfall. Belisarius, sweet brother. Belisarius is gone from the world once more. His nephew's body was already 35 when the dark miracle was performed, when Belisarius possessed him. And that was over 50 years ago. Though his mind and heart remained stalwartly bound to a modest degree, his borrowed body was weak and of no use to the Brotherhood anymore. He visits me in my dreams. He is haunted by his failure, and Sissy has not let him live the failure down, an eternal torment. I can only pray that one day he will be able to find peace in the void, and at the feet of our dread father. He has confirmed that Chance blood does not lay in Somerset, Valenwood, or elsewhere, though he chased traveling or fleeing contracts to each of these lands in his time before being named speaker. But a conclusion brought Belisarius no comfort during his days of wandering and searching. It does bring some to me, delivering with it some peace of mind, that I may indeed be at last walking towards the end of my precedented path. 17th of Rain's Hand. I've combined the entire south of Skyrim, spending the last 2 years here in Riften. I put up going to the thrice cursed city, not wanting to set any more reminder of the work of Bellamont. We had a sanctuary there, but it was brought low by the townspeople at the urging of one of Bellamont's plots, while we were all hunting for the traitor. Had we only known. The townsfolk formed a mob and marched with the requisite torches and pitchforks, I am told. Between the few Argonians who lived in Riften at the time and the mage of some minor rebuke, they collapsed the sanctuary, trapped the family that lived within. No one escaped to tell the tale. I had heard the overview of the occurrence, but not its detail, until I at last arrived in the Red Ray. There I met Vanada Mallory, a Breton who styled herself an arranger for the Thieves' Guild. Was that Delvin's mom? Or grandmother? Surprisingly, we became well acquainted quite quickly, over a noxious smell pint of ale. She told me that the tale of the Fawn Sanctuary, and that there was nothing the guild could have done about it. They would have been fine, but were it not for the mage. His power sealed the fate of those inside when he collapsed the house and its foundation, blocking the escape so carefully crafted. With Vanada's help, I was able to recover the safe house beneath the city, a place the others should have been able to escape to, had their fates been different. I considered establishing a new family here, but quickly realized the safe house was too small for that. Further, it would not be the process of finding my quarry. I allowed Vanada to make some quiet inquiries as to where I might look. She knew those who knew all of Skyrim. She would know where to find those in hiding, or those who had rather more money than their station would otherwise allow, such as the secret heir of my fallen brother. It seems to me wiser than merely walking from town to town, farm to farm, and hoping I would stumble into fortune. Now we shall see how wise a decision it truly was. I've spoken to the Falconry Sanctuary, and let them know where I am, should they need an ancient in the region. Idle hands are, after all, the bane of progress. Fall of a sunless dusk. Vanada Mallory has proven an absolute gift to my cause. Through her I have found news and information I would never have uncovered on my own. Some of it has been excellent, like the discovery of a long-forgotten sanctuary in Winterhold, which was referenced in some very old scroll she produced for another private collector. Another several leads and potential candidates for Lucian's bloodline. Moderately wealthy families owning property with no obvious way to have come into such coin as would have been need to do so. Each has turned out to be a false lead, but I am growing closer. I can feel it. The most recent news was less savory. Banus. He has been spotted on Morrowind wearing the raiment of the Morag tongue. My mission may be to ignite the passion and reveal the heritage of my brother's child, but Banus has managed to ignite my own and reveal the light of rage. I have broken passage to Morrowind. I will find and confront him, for he's abandoned the search and mother's own will. This will not stand. 11th of First Seed. I arrived in Blacklight 3 days ago. The city is astonishing. I've been away from the Imperial Seat for so very long that the city of such age and magnitude was nearly overwhelming. My every perception was assailed as I walked its streets. It took me hours to find my center and cut through the morals of sensation invoked by the historic place. Then side of the root spire in the shadow of a Suarez Fane, I found Banus and confronted him. We argued bitterly. I hurried his starward march deep into the city's darker regions as he attempted to turn away from me, from the truth. I knew it was a trap, of course, but it was full of steel and pride and righteous rage at the fall of one I once held so dear. I would have an explanation. I would be living rough stitches this day. In a wild alley, he finally turned and faced me. Our words grew heated as he rationalized his betrayal. The Nightmare is asking the impossible, and I devoted nearly 80 years to finding the shadow she said to us to hunt. I say it is enough, and the final opponent blasphemy. If the Nightmare truly believes we three could find salvation in this damn cradle tale, the blood of the chance that will save the Brotherhood, separation and spitting each other's syllables of that last word at me, like an accusation, then she is mad, and if you want to devote your remaining days to the madness, you will do it alone. It was enough. I drew my weapon and flew at him, with all the pent-up rage, anger, guilt, and pain I held within me all of these years. He at last was a target worthy of that collective force. I drew betrayer, from his own lips condemned, and I had forgotten the sort of rage and woe in slow fires within my soul for nearly a century. Unleashed all that, I had to send straight to the Sithis, to be the instrument of punishment. It wasn't enough. Banner's rebirth had given him a body younger than mine by decades. I'd see rage and passion on my side, but he had a relative youth, strength, and commitment on his. Our skills were arguably evenly matched, but he moved with a liquidity I simply couldn't match. I was fighting through water, caught on more than one occasion in the sleeves of my own robes. I'm humiliated to say, whereas he had no such impediment, I would have been more to unmatched for any city guard, mercenary, or simple soldier, but against a fellow speaker with nearly as many years in the role as I, and younger, stronger body. Ah, God, this is so long. Only by a miracle could I have won a duel. At last, bloody, disarmed, and fuming in shock and rage, I found myself on the ground beneath him. He stood over my blade, pointed at my throat. Sister. I protested. He had no right to call me that any longer, but he pressed on. I will call you that for the rest of time. The Brotherhood has ended. So many sanctuaries are undermanned or outright closed now. The listener is dead, and while the Night Mother will undoubtedly choose a successor, it will be too late to save what we had, what we were. The shock upon my fate at this pronouncement must have shown clear, for I nodded and went on. I think she fears to appoint another listener in hopes that we will find her precocious mystical hero, Lucian's heir, before time and event force her to do so. I told him that we must then find him. If what he says was true, surely we must be close. No, sister. If she would make one of us the listener, then I would return, but his madness must end, here and now. I accused him of convening the role, and trying or hoping to strong arms his way back to the Brotherhood. That all he truly wanted was power, the listenership, for which he was utterly unworthy. He surprised me then, looking surprised himself. Of course I'm unworthy. I was thinking that you should be listener. I would follow you then. Together we could truly rebuild the Brotherhood. I was stunned. The Night Mother chooses the listener. You know that. I protested. I still sat at the blind end of the alley, his words lowering from my neck. Sister. She spoke to you already, me as well. Rule the Brotherhood, send agents out. If you must handle Chan's mystical air, but rebuild. He enunciated each syllable for effect. I considered. The idea had a twisted sense to it. With the Brotherhood's resources, the search would go much more swiftly, and all the while could be building, sealing breaches, healing what once was, and shaping it into what it should again be. But no, that was clearly not the way. My decision must have been shown on my face, for Bando's own face fell. He refused. It wasn't a question. I must, I said. If it were what the Night Mother wanted, she would have appeared to me already. His face hardened. And I braced myself to meet Sithis at long last. Go on then. Let it end here, in blood and betrayal again. I spat these words at him. He would kill me now, and there was nothing more I could do to stop him. To my surprise, he sheathed his sword. Sister, I won't be the one to end your mad quest. I give you life and freedom. If you wish to spend both haunting the steps of a man we once wronged, then do so. Take this insanity down into the grave with you, for that is exactly where this obsession will lead you. For my part, I am done with it. I have outgrown such petty tales. He turned to leave the alley. As he neared his mouth, he spoke one final piece. Do not come for me again, sister. This is the last gift I can give to you. Should you not obey me in this, he paused at the alley's mouth, not looking back at me. You will force my hand. And with that, I was alone. 11th of first seat. Even these many years later, I still reflect on my meeting with Banus. The trap he set for me was clever. I don't know if he himself understood or understands the scope of it. By Sithis, I don't even know if he's still alive. I'm the last. And if I should die, then all will be lost. I cannot exact revenge for this breach of the tenets if I cannot defeat him. If I try to do so, I forfeit the search, forfeit the sacred charge given us all by the Night Mother, and I alone remain upon that path. He tested my resolve twice over. To claim the status of listener and shape the destiny of the future, all while not giving up on the search for the heir, and the balance of the tenets and the quest. I must remain strong, and balance rage and calculation, hope and despair, speed with thoroughness, and faith with zeal, old but proud. Banada has never stopped looking for me, has never given me cause to doubt her ability or her friendship. Staying here in Riften was a wise decision, but my spirit is restless. She has told me of a family in Havingar. Records and letters tell of their rise to prominence. Relatively speaking, at about the correct time, mother, father, hear me. Let this at last be what who I seek. I'm so tired now. I'm tired too. I have to find the air. If only so I can get a night's rest, a night's peace, without my brothers whispering or in some cases screaming at me as I dream. 22nd of mid-year. Here Sithis, at last. At long last, I found the lion, the air. I saw him in the markets of Solitude, as expected. He owns a manor just outside of Solitude, and comes here to trade on the same day each week, just as Vanetta said. May the Night Mother hold her lion in a cold embrace. His name is Beto Amatius, and looking into his face, his eyes, there can be no doubt, he's Lucian to the very life. I approached him at his midday meal in the open air, and I needed excuse no splot. He often moons there, he told me. Sometimes about it always seems peaceful to him, as if he were an Amatius, and he was delighted. His land was unremarkably outside of the few circles they ran into. An old enough family, but nothing that should make an alchemist sit up and take notice. I told him that I knew his grandfather, and that they wore the same face. He was surprised but pleased, having never known his grandfathers. One died before his birth, and the other died when he was just a pup, as he chose to frame it. He invited me to dinner at his home, so that I could meet the rest of his family, and tell him old tales of his grandfather's escapades. Tomorrow then, I shall at last fulfill my oath to the Night Mother. 23rd of mid-year. I failed. There is no other way to say it. I arrived at Better's manor at the appointed hour and met his sickly wife and his young son, and had a humble but delicious meal with them. At first, and out of caution given the audience, I styled Lucian as a skilled swordsman and traveler. I regaled them with his more colorful exploits, leaving out his reason for being in the particular situations entirely, such as innocent ears did not need to know that the newly minted hero was in contract business, doing the Night Mother's bidding. It was too soon for such truth. The boy was all eyes and smiles, imagining. I don't doubt himself as Lucian in the dashing tales I told. The boy even embraced me before I was carried off to bed in his mother's arms, hoping I would come again, soon with more stories. When we were all well and truly alone, Beto asked me plainly if it were all true, if he knew a single word had been true. I confessed that I had omitted certain details for his wife and son's benefit. He ventured to guess that Lucian was a mercenary, a sellsword, or perhaps even a sometime bandit. The time had come. I unfurled the tapestry of his heritage, his birthright, and watched as it took hold of him, and then watched as he took hold of me. At first his hand was gentle on my wrist, and I thought it a chest of relief, or him needing someone living to touch, to anchor him in the here and now, as he accepted the truth. I presented it to him as artlessly as I could. He bore the news as well as could be expected. After a moment of silence, he reached for his mug with his right hand, still holding my wrist in his left, or so I thought. Shifting as a serpent, he drew his right hand from the table. In it was a knife he used to cut his meat. Before I understood what had happened, he stabbed me 3 times in the stomach and chest. He continued to hold my left hand. I couldn't get a sense of him. His face was so hatefully calm. He said to me, "Never darken my door again." I opened my mouth to speak, even as he released me, but he cut me off before I could get enough air in my lungs to push out the words. You come into my house and sit with my wife and my son, and you peddle this vile, monstrous slander. Food for lies, it makes no difference. That man is long dead, and whatever he was, is dust, just as he is. His voice never raised, never grew above a soft and deadly purr. I don't recall finding my feet, but I remember finding myself staggering down the hill towards the harbor. I met no patrolling guards, of course. They only appear when you want most to avoid them. After all, don't they? I remember seeing an abandoned shack, dilapidated and forgotten, beyond the stone bridge on my way to Solitude. It was overgrown and unremarkably, making it the only choice for me, and so here I sit, panning the sentry. I must have spilled my inkwell. It's all over the front of my robe. I would hold out in here for my wounds. Then onto Blacklight. No, not Blackwhite. I will go, next to Riften. Just die already! Perhaps the sanctuary there can offer some solutions to this blunder. No sanctuary is left in Riften. It's long since destroyed. I'm so tired. Sleep will clear my mind. It's very cold. I must have left my cloak at Amathias' home. Never mind, just some rest. Mother, tomorrow I'll speak to Amathias. I will make him see. I will make...
Oh, hi. Argon.
It is an honor to finally meet you, listener.
Sister, have you pieced together the puzzle? Yeah, do you just read the journal you did?
In due time, listener. I was in Skyrim for nearly 70 years. Over time, I came to realize that LeChance had visited nearly every inch of it. After years of fruitless searching, my hope dwindled. I maintained regular contact with Banis and Belisarius. 140 years ago, Belisarius passed. His nephew was already 35 when he was possessed. His search ended in failure. I looked to no avail. But, on the bright side, I was able to eliminate the southern part of Skyrim. 15 years later, I had received disturbing word regarding Banis Alor in Morrowind. It took me years to find him. He had betrayed the Brotherhood, hijacked his cousin's body, and became a member of the Morag Tong. The details are in my journal. What Banis said to me had disturbed me to my very being.
I read it.
He said that the Brotherhood was dead and forgotten. He had spoken with Belisarius, and between them they only knew of 3 active sanctuaries in all of Tamriel. I had known of 3 myself, but by that time, Dawnstar had closed its doors. 5 sanctuaries in all of Tamriel. The Brotherhood was nothing. My family abandoned me. For 20 years I stopped looking. Then one day I was shopping in Solitude, and I saw a man from across the marketplace. His eyes were Lucian's. I knew that I had found the Descendant, so I met with him and explained the situation. He became enraged and stabbed me. My reflexes were dull. I hadn't handled a blade in almost 100 years. You will find the man's house near, just outside of Solitude. The family name is Amathias. Go with Sithis, listener. Long live the Brotherhood.
Long live the Brotherhood indeed. I still don't quite know why I need to find that guy. Why do we need some weird rookie? Inigo, where are you? I need someone to complain to lead the Brotherhood, or what is he supposed to do? Mom, I'm the leader. I don't want some stupid rookie to take over. I'm upset. Are you upset? Be upset with me.
I'm thinking, what is Mr.
I bet
Dragonfly
he's
thinking?
also upset.
Oh, set?
No, I'm upset. Heck. I've spoken with the spirit. She's informing the child of the time may let live. Amathias. Why do we need him? So far, will really be worthy to bear. Why would he need to bear the name of the Brotherhood? I'm the listener. I'm upset. Hey, dude. Hey, if that guy takes away my job as listener, I'm gonna stab him without regret. Sithis, come at me. Let's go wherever we need to go.